Where did this even come from? I was not following this game at all, but then I saw a couple of favourable reviews and decided to give it a go. Sweet Jesus! Oh, it's good. It's good. So in a nutshell, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor has you play as a ranger who died but came back and now can't die, causing all types of shit inside Mordor, killing orcs, disrupting their operations, and basically trying to take down Mordor from the inside out like some sort of fantasy microwave. It pretty much boils down to a simple third-person action game, like Assassin's Creed, but good, or the Batman Arkham series, but better. And this is coming from someone who really enjoyed the Arkham series. So it's an open world game, but it's got the free running from Assassin's Creed and the combat system from the Arkham series. Just, I'm of the opinion that it does the Arkham combat better than Arkham ever did. And I think this is mostly due to the fluidity of the animations in Shadow of Mordor. In the Arkham series, Batman would leap across the screen, just this ridiculous movement to punch the next thug, and it seemed very unnatural to me. That doesn't happen for the most part in Shadow of Mordor. The movements from orc to orc are a lot more natural, seem a lot more realistic. I also found the controls to be a lot more responsive in Shadow of Mordor as well. When you hit the counter button, it counters straight away. The only exception is when you're in the middle of an execution. The consolation for this though is, as far as I can tell, you can't take damage when you're performing an execution. Let's talk about the difficulty here for a second. There's no difficulty options or sliders or anything like that. And I've read on forums and such, there's a huge difference of opinion here. Some people think it's a rock hard game. Other people think it's too easy. Let me give you a sort of in-between opinion here. The combat can get really easy if you time it perfectly and you get into a rhythm and you sort of pick your next target while you're beating up your current target. When you're in that rhythm, it gets really easy and it's really fun because you feel like a powerhouse even though you're still getting overwhelmed. You don't take out enemies too quickly, but you can deal with a huge swarm of them if your timing is impeccable. However, if you miss one step, then it can all go to pot and you either die or you run away. Now, here's the other part of the equation that I think contributes to people thinking it's too easy. You don't die. That's the point of your character. Your character is basically undead, so you can't die. So when you die, you come back. But that plays into the whole nemesis system, which I'm sure you've heard a lot about already, so that when you die, whatever orc kills you, whether it's a grunt or a captain or whatever, they get promoted and suddenly they have a personality. They get a title, they have a unique look. I mean, they have a unique look anyway, but it becomes more unique and they get armor based on their rank and whatnot. And then when you meet them again, they'll taunt you. It's actually really cool. It's as cool as they were saying it was before it was released. Speaking of which, the real stars of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor are the orcs, or the Uruks as they're more often called in the game. These guys are awesome. They're just so charismatic and often hilarious. My motivation for hunting them down isn't because, oh, he killed me, so I want to get revenge. Not so much that, or, geez, these guys are just really terrible, they're into slavery, they're killing people, this and that, so I want to take them out. It's that they're so charming in their evilness that I just want to meet him again, you know? So sometimes I'd kill a guy, but he'd come back, just like me as the main character, like I'd come back. I thought I killed him, but then he comes back and he's like, oh, you think you can kill me? Or, you know, with his Cockney accent, however it goes. And he kept doing it. He just kept coming back. And that just was really awesome to me because it became this thing with me that I had to put him down for good. And yet every time he came back, I loved it because that charismatic character was in my game again. Okay, what you need to know. It's the best Lord of the Rings game since Battle for Middle-earth 2. It's got 2 maps for you to explore. I believe the first one is bigger than the second one. The combat feels great. The whole orc society interaction feels even better. It does take liberties with the lore in the addition of certain creatures of Mordor, but their explanations are at least good enough for me to accept their existence. Last but certainly not least, it gets my RPG stamp of approval. Anywho, that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is not a review. Everything in this video should be interpreted as opinion. The roleplay gamer will not be held responsible for lack of discernment on the part of the viewer. This video was created for the purpose of critique, and as such is protected under fair use. This has been an unpaid presentation. No gamers were harmed in the making of this video.
Feast time! Time to feast! Eat and drink too!